Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Welcome back, my friend, to BjjBrick Quick. My name is Byron. This is your quick jiu-jitsu podcast. Do my best not to lie about that. Try to keep this punctual. I did not start my watch. I'm not going to toy with it now. Going off the clock here, my friends. Last episode, we talked about jiu-jitsu not recovering from COVID. That sounds weird. Not getting back to the numbers it once was. That sounds like it had COVID. This episode, maybe we can look at the brighter side and see maybe we have done better than we thought. So the search term in Google Trends, you can go to Google Trends if you want and type anything you want. And if there's enough people searching for that, it'll give you some data on that information. It's kind of fun to toy around with. And so I typed in a term that I've used before when traveling particularly, but I would imagine if I was new to jiu-jitsu, I would use this as well. So I don't know which one's more common. But I typed in BJJ near me. And I know this because if I'm looking for a Thai restaurant, I like Thai food, I go to Google or go to Google Maps and type in Thai near me, and boom, it'll pop up with stuff. And so that's how you search for something that's local to you, is add those two words. And sure enough, they popped up with some data, and it's a lot more of a jaggedy graph than last time, than I talked about yesterday. Go check it out on the website, or just hopefully I could put these in the podcast downloading thing. I don't know if I could do that. We'll see how I do. But you do see the fall for COVID-19. People stopped Googling that. It's not the only fall. But really, I think that this kind of indicates that not a lot of people are searching for this compared to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But what we do see is later on the graph, after COVID-19 hits, in March of 2021, and later again as I move my mouse over, it's not going to show me, early July of 2021, Jiu-Jitsu near me hits 2 all-time highs, beating the old record before COVID. Does that mean that that's when people were traveling and they wanted to do some training? Maybe. Does that mean that people who have learned about jiu-jitsu and are interested in trying it Google that term? I don't know. Maybe I should have Googled trend, looked up starting jiu-jitsu and see how that did. Dang it. I think of the good ideas as we're rolling on the air. But it's just one indicator of maybe it's not doing quite as bad as what yesterday's graph and chart kind of led to. We have a very spiky graph, ups and downs, but 2 new highs after COVID-19. That's kind of cool. Now, I said this last episode, and I'd say it again, doesn't really matter. Unless you're a gym owner or you're marketing something for the jiu-jitsu environment as a whole, doesn't really matter. You're training. If you're training, I hope that you're able to train safely for whatever you think that is. But you're training, and it doesn't matter if there's 1 million people training jiu-jitsu or 10,000. As long as you've got a group of people to train with, the training is largely unchanged. Now, if you're a fan or a spectator or that sort of a person, the bigger numbers would get you better quality athletes, typically, better paydays for them, and that sort of thing as well. But overall, your jiu-jitsu doesn't change. But this just gives us one little bit of a positive indicator. Now, I don't have the information on here. I don't know why it doesn't show me like how many actual people type the search terms in. It's so jaggedy that I think that it's not a lot. It's definitely not a lot compared to the term Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I added words to it. I added near me, which with any search term, once you add another word to that, it just cuts it drastically. But it's a positive spin on it. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you want to support the podcast, go to Patreon. You can support us per month. Hope you have a great day, my friend, and stay sweaty.